Si Charlene is very busy girl. I'm an international student, so I'm taking Masters of Digital Media and Global Communications sa University of Niagara Falls, Canada. Napansin ko sa Niagara Falls is parang yung pinaka-focus nila is yung landmarks. So may mga pinuntahan kami sa Niagara on the Lake na hindi pa masyadong napupuntahan ng iba, ng ibang mga tourist. Yun yung mga fini-feature ko hanggang sa napapansin ng ibang mga tao na gustong pumunta. Kung ano ako, kailangan ganun din yung gets ng viewers ko. Very genuine, very authentic yung content ko. That's very important. Well, it's actually my passion, like going different places and then doing content with other people, with other brands, ganun. Pagdating mo dito, wala kang career agad eh. You need to start from scratch. That's where I started building my own brand.
Kamusta Internet World? Ako nga pala si Kyle from Filipino TV, also known as Coach Kyle from The Breakdown, also known as Kyle ang kabanda ng lahat from the Kulto Kultura podcast. And this is a Totoo Lang podcast. And for today's episode, very special yung guest natin. Nakikwento na siya sa akin the past week about sa mga ginagawa niya, and then nakakwentuhan ko rin siya off-cam about sa mga ginagawa niya. It's very interesting na ma-share yung kwento niya. Hayaan ko na siyang introduce yung sarili niya. And for this episode, kasama ko si Charlene.
Hello! Hi!
Hello.
Hi po sa inyong lahat. I'm Charlene and thank you sa pag-invite sa akin dito sa show.
Yes, thank you din sa ang layo ng binyahe mo eh.
Oh yeah, from Niagara Falls.
Baka gusto mo pala makwento sa viewers natin kung sino si Charlene at ano bang mga ginagawa mo.
Si Charlene is very busy girl.
Oo nga eh.
Well, I'm an international student, so I'm taking Masters of Digital Media and Global Communications sa University of Niagara Falls, Canada. So, aside from being an international student, so I mentioned na I also started my content creator parang experience here in Canada. Well, way back in the Philippines naman kasi ginagawa ko na siya. Pero pagdating ko dito sa Canada, I actually started from scratch, which is very hard. And then, nakakakaba kasi pagpunta ko dito is ang daming content creators na magagaling. And of course, very diverse, di ba? And then, marami ring mga Filipinos dito sa downtown na content creators na talagang fina-follow ko. Sabi ko, ala, ang galing-galing naman nila. Sana ganun din ako. Soon, magkaroon rin ako ng collaborations, ganyan.
Tsaka malalaki yung mga following.
Oh, yeah. Oo. And then, well, ang ginawa ko that time is talagang nag-start ako dun sa kung ano ba yung gusto kong gawin. So, since wala pa akong audience dito, lalo na sa Niagara Falls, ang ginawa ko is lagi kaming gumagala. So, kahit sa Philippines, palagala na ako. So, pupunta kami sa mga restaurants, ganyan, sa mga tourist spots. So, nag-take lang ako ng videos, nag-take ako ng photos, which is yun talaga yung gusto kong ginagawa. Tapos pinopost ko lang. And then there's this one time na may mga nag-i-invite na sa akin for collaboration, ganyan. Tapos, even dito sa downtown Toronto, Markham, or other parts ng Canada, is nakakakuha na ako ng brand collaboration. So, parang doon ko na-realize na, ay, kaya ko pala. Ay, kaya pala ng isang international student nakakarating lang na makapasok sa content creator scene.
Pero anong klaseng mga videos ba yung ginagawa mo at the time? Before ka nila mapansin, ha?
Mostly mga parang go-to food places, ganyan, kasi mahilig ako kumain. Kaya nga lumaki na ipiski ko. Yeah. And then, mga best places to visit in Niagara Falls, ganyan. Which is, naka-help rin dun sa place. Kasi napansin ko sa Niagara Falls is parang yung pinaka-focus nila is yung landmarks, yung Clifton Hill, yung falls mismo, and then other mga parang famous
Mas ano siya, no? Mas tourist spot.
tourist
kasi siya.
spot. So what I did is, syempre yung mga friends ko kasi may mga nakatira na doon matagal na. So may mga pinuntahan kami sa Niagara on the Lake na hindi pa masyadong napupuntahan ng iba, ng ibang mga tourist. So yun yung mga fini-feature ko hanggang sa napapansin ng ibang mga tao na gustong pumunta, na mag-visit doon sa place. So I think yun yung naging edge ko. Hindi ako masyadong nag-focus dun sa mga common landmarks. Ayun.
Pero nabanggit mo kanina, parang ginagawa mo na siya sa Philippines.
Yeah.
And meron ka na bang following from that time sa Philippines na ginagawa mo siya?
Yes, I do have. Pero mostly, same rin sa mga food industry, and then a little bit of beauty. So yon, ang pinagkaiba lang is more on like Filipino brands. Ganon, yun yung mga focus ko. And then when I came here, syempre ibang scene, ibang country.
Iba din ang target audience.
Yeah.
Paano mo na-shift yung target audience mo
Actually,
from Philippines
ang
to
hirap.
here?
So, ang ginawa ko, aside sa nag-adjust pa ako sa culture, language, ano pa ba, mga, yung audience mismo, ang ginawa ko is, parang pinag-aralan ko rin siya. Actually, yung the way you say yung mga words na ginagamit sa Canada, like for example, crew neck, di ba sa atin, iba lang, parang sabihin mo natin, sweater, or toque, where parang sa atin, bini lang yon. So, yung mga simple words na yon, especially yung mga spelling, yung may you, so, yun yung mga yung pinag-aralan ko rin siya. And then, kumakausap ako ng mga locals, kung ano ba yung mga gusto ng mga tao dito, paano ba sila, ano ba yung gusto nila sa mga restaurants, ganyan. So, yun, unti-unti ko siyang inaaral hanggang sa slowly, until now naman pinag-aaralan ko pa rin kung ano ba yung gusto ng audience ko.
Kwentuhan mo ako, Charlene, about dun sa nung dumating ka rito, yung pinakaunang nag-invite sa'yo na brand.
No brand. Okay, sino bang pinakauna? I think it's
Okay lang magbanggit.
Oh yeah. I think yung pinaka first one is a local hand sanitizer brand. Yeah, I think it's can I say the name ba? Peace per Se. So ano siya, it's a local brand here in Canada. So they invited me to, can we send you our products and could you promote it? And then of course, what I did is just, it's an honest review. Always yun naman yung parang how I do my contents or how I do my videos naman is always based on my experience. So, tinay ko yung product, and then tinest ko siya, and I always honest naman ako sa pag-review dun sa products, and they're very happy din sa naging output. That's what I like here in Canada kasi you can see that they will message you, they're gonna compliment you, they're gonna appreciate you dun sa works na ginagawa mo.
Itong
And dun
brand
ako
na to
na-touch.
hindi siya Filipino brand?
No, it's a local Canadian brand.
Yun nga very appreciative sila dito, di ba?
Yeah.
I don't know if you na-observe mo sa, kahit minsan, kunyari ako, part ako ng music scene, kahit hindi ka gaanong magaling, very appreciative ang culture ng kanila. Yun ang napansin ko ang difference with the Filipino na eksena.
Yeah, totoo. Alam mo yung makabasa ka lang na simple message, nakaka-touch kasi especially as a content creator kasi it takes time, parang you need more time to conceptualize. Ano bang gagawin ko for this brand? Even if it's like a simple brand, ano yung pwede mong gawin to make it more special? Right? Hindi lang yung gagawa ka lang ng content agad-agad. Kailangan may conceptualization, ano bang idea mo, paano mo ba siya i-execute. So may efforts kang ginagawa. So pag makakarinig ka lang ng compliment or like message from the brand, it really helps to to motivate you more, di ba?
Speaking of conceptualization, tama ba yung term? Yung word ko? Yun, tama ba yung word? Paano ka nag-iisip ng content or yung story or klase ng content na gagawin mo for a brand? Given nga na nabanggit mo na parang napansin mo nga ang dami na ditong creators, na malalaki yung following.
Totoo.
Paano mo kino-conceptualize yung sa'yo to stand out, which you did kasi nakatagus ka.
Oo, yeah. Nakatagus talaga ako dun sa barrier.
Oh, diba?
Which is hindi ko talaga akalain na magagawa ako. So, actually, ang like kong iniisip is that this is my content. So, how do I deliver it? So, parang, sino ba ako? Ano ba yung personality ko? So, I always make sure that, I get ideas from other content creators kasi that's also important. Kung ano yung trends right now, you need to go in that direction para maging relevant ka, especially digital media is always changing. So, it's always, there's always new. So, you need to ride on that direction. And aside from that, you need to put something that it's you. Parang in my case is that the way I tell my story is that I make sure na it's me. So right now, before, takot ako magsalita na may voiceover. But now, I try to embrace that weakness. So before, every time na naririnig ko yung boses ko sa video, especially now, nahiya ako.
Cringy ka.
Oo, nag-cringe ako. Parang, hi, ako yung boses ko yun. Parang ganon. Pero right now, I think a lot of brands na appreciate nila yung voiceover. So what I did, I made it more personalized with my voice over dun sa video. Tapos, I make sure na yung the way I tell the story is very clean. Kasi yun yung personality ko again. So, it really depends pa rin naman sa content creator kung paano nila i-deliver. And then, yung parang may flow na parang may beginning, middle, and end. Para, kasi yun yung ano ko yun yung way of storytelling ko para mas madaling maintindihan ng mga audience. Well, in other content creators kasi they have their own style. So that's my style naman. I want it like very clean, mas madali siyang digest pag pinanood ng mga viewers.
Parang hindi namang halata na nahihiya ka magsalita.
Nahihiya ako. Actually, mahihain po ako. Hindi lang halata.
Hindi sila maniniwala.
Deep inside, kinakabahan na ako.
So, authenticity, basically,
Yeah, that's true.
ang iyong style. Pero which is yun din ang biggest na realization ko or napansin ko with content creation na effective is kailangan mag-gets ng tao yung personality mo.
Totoo.
May connection ka sa audience mo. Mix siya with kung ano yung trending, I guess, kung ano yung viral, connected siya sa kung ano yung personality ng creator. Yun lang yung napansin ko. And ang galing na yun yung pagkakasabi mo. How do you deal with, sabi mo kasi, honest reviewer ka
Yeah.
Have you ever nakapag-review ka na ba ng product or business na hindi maganda?
Well, in my case, wala pa naman. Kasi what I do is, there are some brands that ask for my for collaborations, but I always make sure na aligned yung brand dun sa personality ko. So may filtering akong ginagawa.
Hindi ka lang tanggap ng tanggap.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Gets.
So, because of course, I want my audience to parang yung kung ano ako, kailangan ganun din yung gets ng viewers ko. So gusto ko na very genuine, very authentic yung nasa video, yung content ko. That's very important kasi yung trust, you need to kailangan mo i-value yung trust ng audience mo. Once you pag nawala yan, mahihirapan ka na ibalik. So, yun yung pinaka-main parang mantra ko in life. You need to value that trust. And then, kasi yung support na binibigay nila sa'yo is, that will help you grow. Not as a content creator itself, but as a person as well. So, yun yung parang, pag may gusto kang gawin, if they will support you, yun yung magdadrive sa'yo na mas gagalingan ko pa. So, yun. So, almost all naman ng brands na nagiging na nagkaka-partner ko is very aligned naman dun sa personality ko.
Ano yung mga ayaw mo? Okay lang banggitin.
For ayaw, yung mga hindi ko ginagamit, parang gano'n, na hindi ko, yung mga product na hindi ko naman talaga ginagamit, yun yung mga hindi ako nagsisay yes for collaboration.
So yun, bumabiyahe ka from Niagara. Hindi ko ina-assume. Kasi sa ganitong field na ginagawa mo, very familiar din ako. Mainly ng mga yan, nasa GTA in Toronto area.
That's true.
Binabiyahe mo talaga sila lagi.
Yeah. Well, actually right now, 95% of the brands that reach out to me are nasa GTA area. Which is, I understand. Kasi sa field ko, sa digital media, it's mostly nandun sa area ng Toronto, diba?
Yeah.
So, for me kasi that's an opportunity. So I don't want to waste it. So, yes, pumupunta ako kahit malayo man siya. Kasi, part pa rin naman ng personality ko na I love traveling. I love going places kahit 3 hours man lang yan or 4 hours. Yes. Game ako dyan. So, kahit sa ibang country pa yan, pupuntahan ko yan.
Talaga?
Siyempre, depende na.
Depende sa pay. Depende sa pay.
Pero kasi masaya Well, hindi mo kasi siya iisipin na brand collaboration lang It's still the experience. It's still the moment that the way you experience yung brand, Yung the way you go, hindi lang yung sa product itself the way you go there, for example, sa restaurant, yung excitement na pupunta ka doon. For example, mostly mga restaurants yung nag-invite sa akin, mga grand opening nila. So, parang isipin mo, you're very special kasi grand opening, ikaw yung unang pupunta doon, di ba? So, parang just this week, I have like two restaurants na i-visit sa Toronto. So, parang yung yung feeling na I'm excited kahit nasa biyahe ka pa. Parang gano'n. Yun lang yung iniisip ko lagi. Na hindi lang siya trabaho.
Yeah.
It's like it's actually my passion, like going different places and then doing content with other people, with other brands, gano'n. Yun yung nagdadrive sa akin.
You know, I wanna understand yung siya obviously passionate is paano siya nag-start? Sabi mo ginagawa mo na to sa Philippines.
Yeah.
Saan nanggaling yung passion mo for yung content creation and everything that you do? Ano ba? Paano ba
Wow.
nagsimula yan sa'yo?
Grabe yung question na yan. well, okay. So, step back ako in the Philippines. Kailan ba siya nag-start? Well, I think, yan yung, kasi di ba I graduated from FEU, Mass Communication.
Mass Comm.
During that time, ang pinag-aaralan namin is traditional advertising.
Okay.
So, that time pa lang is into advertising. So, hindi pa siya, mostly, ang iniisip ko noon, magiging direction ko is more on doing reporting. Ganyan. Filmmaking. But, I think that was 2016 when social media, nag-boom yung social media. And then, my first career is in a digital agency. So, dun ako na-train on how, I handle brands, different brands. And then, I also handle influencers.
Okay.
And then, so ako yung nagmamanage sa kanila. And there's this time wherein, yung Instagram ko is hindi pa siya naka-public. So, naka-private pa lang ako that time. And then, when I was in the influencer scene already, and I realized that, that looks fun. What if gawin ko nga? So, at that time, I was just like coordinating with the influencers. But, I grabbed that opportunity to learn the industry, and then suddenly I get like brand collaborations na from the local brands na ng Philippines. So inisip ko, ang galing kasi dati yung influencers minamanage ko lang. And then slowly, ako na yung nagiging
Biglang ikaw
content creator. Yeah. Yun. Ngayon ko lang din na-realize pala. Oo. Which is very, in life kasi, paminsan you need to explore things. Kasi paminsan hindi natin alam kung anong gusto natin gawin, 'di ba? When there's like opportunity, try to grab that, and sometimes kasi doon mo makita, yung pala yung ko, yung pala yung strength ko, yung pala yung magiging direction ng ko, ng career ko. Parang ganon.
Ano yung napansin mong biggest difference ng, content creating for brands sa Philippines compared versus dito?
Well, when I started kasi in the Philippines, is more into, it's very brand-centric, that you have to send your contents sa mga brands. They need to check it first before we upload. But here, I think parang they trust you. Parang as long as it aligns with the brand and it follows yung parang ethics, then it's fine. No approval needed.
Or kung meron man
No revisions needed.
Or kung meron man hindi siya kasing extreme ng sa Philippines na kailangan muna nang i-check bago mo i-upload.
Tapos may mga revisions,
Oo,
ganyan.
oo nga.
So kailangan, I think very brand heavy. Yun yung napansin ko. While here, I'm not sure kasi this is based on my experience pa lang ngayon sa mga brands na na-handle ko. Here is that they just let you do your thing, and then I think they know naman kung ano yung, alam mo na kung ano yung tama at mali, and then you have your parang freedom na to post it right away.
Sa Philippines ba, totoo ba yung mga parang sila pa yung magbibigay ng konsepto ng mga gagawin mo?
Yes. Well, usually kasi there's parang middleman kasi is yung brand, the agency itself, right? So they have this parang content pocket. So andun na lahat ng mga details na kailangan ng content creators. We just need to comply. Like for example, we need to wear something like this that reflects dun sa brand, and then we need to use this hashtags, we need to use this call to action, something like that. Well, that is based on my experience. I'm not sure if paano na yung mga brands right now dun sa Philippines. But
And then
yeah.
dito, hindi naman siya ganun.
Parang wala naman. Yeah, wala pa naman ako na-experience na ganun. It's mostly like parang your own voice, kung paano mo gawin yung caption, paano mo i-deliver yung video. Yeah.
Masasabi mo ba na is that mas better ba yung dito or versus doon, or what's your take?
Yeah. Well, my take on that is that I think it really depends on the brand itself. Yeah. Well, siguro in the Philippines, that kind of approach is working. It's because they just want to parang control siguro yung lalabas na mga contents from content creators to make sure that it aligns with the brand. Kasi di ba maraming mga issues in the Philippines that, pag nagamit lang itong word, oh my gosh, mababash na agad yung
Daming controversies.
Mabilis. Yes, mabilis yung natin, yung mga netizens mag-react, di ba? So I think they just want to control it. Yeah, well, here I'm not sure though. I'm still learning yung landscape dito sa Canada. It's very broad pa for me to parang to comment on that one. But based on my experience, it's mostly the brand will give you, they will just let you experience the service, and then you as a content creator will just do your thing.
How about audience reception? Anong napansin mong difference from when you were there to now na nandito ka?
Yeah, well, here kasi it's very diverse. You're not just like talking to like Canadians. You're talking to everyone. Yeah, so different nationalities. So, well, here they're very they're very direct. If they like it, they like it. If they're gonna react to your videos, they will react. In the Philippines, I'm not sure kasi may halo-halo yan. Hindi mo alam kung sino yung totoong account or sino yung hindi. So may mga ganon.
Mas maraming toxic ba sa Philippines?
Oo, kaya parang nakakatakot rin. Nakakatakot rin gumawa ng contents na feeling, parang marami kang iisipin eh. Marami kang isiping factors sa Philippines. Like, magugustuhan ba to ng ganitong group? Magugustuhan ba to ng ganito? Parang ganon. Kailangan mo siyang i-weigh-in before you post.
So, naka-experience ka ba ng gano'n? Like heavy bashing sa content? Ang problem kasi hindi naman problem, isa sa mga parang side ng content creation is public figure ka basically eh.
Oh yeah.
Para kang nag-feed sa kanila ng, parang wala kang choice eh. Inopen mo siya to public, so pwede nilang sabihin kung anong gusto nilang sabihin.
Yeah.
Wala kang magagawa.
Totoo.
Do you have experience with
Well,
sa
right
mga
now,
ganun?
wala pa naman. Wala pa. Cross fingers. But yeah, wala pa naman. Wala pa naman akong negative like comments or bashers na experience. Well, I think that is actually one of the challenges talaga in a content creator scene na kailangan mo i-accept. So, well, what I do is that as much as possible, if kaya kong i-control, I'll do that. So that's why I need to make sure that all of my contents is wala akong na-offend na tao, wala akong na-offend na groups, ganyan. And then, as much as possible, you stay true to your content, and then honest. Very honest, ganon. So, actually, yan yung kinakatakot ko. Yeah. But of course, that is part of being a content creator kasi you just need to accept it. And of course, you need to, if you can control it. If not, just let them be. Kasi alam mo namang hindi ka ganun eh. Diba?
In my experience kasi is, minsan kahit di mo naman talaga parang objective or intent na maka-offend.
Yeah.
It's just general public, especially specifically siguro Filipinos, are very opinionated into something.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
they always have to say their opinions. And porket hindi lang align sa opinion nila, they have to say, may kailangan na sila sabihin, which is not right.
Yeah.
And kaya ko lang na-open up yung topic na yun is kasi ako actually very advocate ako ng mental health ng tao. And I've
Yeah.
witnessed a lot of people sa social media na nasisira yung mental health nila dahil sa toxicity ng social media or ng comment sections.
Yeah.
Yun, kaya ko lang naman na-ask. Siguro, nabanggit mo rin naman na wala ka naman masyadong experience dun. What's your stand against yung ganun, mental health and social media? Kasi ano na yan, parang lahat ng tao nandiyan na sa social media eh.
Yeah. Actually, well, social media is very helpful for us, 'di ba? Pero of course, may negative side siya, which is mabilis kasi mag-react. Mabilis kang pag nag-post ka lang niyan, mabilis rin sila mag-post, 'di ba? So everyone has a voice. And I think ang point of view ko lang dyan is that as long as you surround yourself with like mga positive people, stay on that side. Because social media, you don't know them. You can you can read their comments if you want to improve something. Kasi diba sometimes those bashings will also help us to improve ourselves, right? To push ourselves on boundaries. But if you can take it, let them be, and then just surround yourself with positive mindset, right? Positive people. Yon. Kasi wala mahirap i-please sa mga tao, di ba? And not everyone will go on your side always. Laging may masasabi at masasabi. And I think, yan yung mahirap ngayon sa industry. Wherein mabilis kumalat ng negativity. So, masyado na maraming negative sa mundo. So, why not let's try to be on that positive side naman, di ba?
Transition from, going from Philippines to Canada.
Oh, yeah.
Was it hard for you or what's the story behind it?
Yeah. Well, for that one, I'm very thankful na naging smooth naman yung adjustment period namin. And well, this is based on my experience, no? Well, actually, to be honest, before coming here in Canada, akala ko papayat na ako. Akala ko makakapag-diet na ako. Pero kabaliktaran pala. Puro kain na kain. So, it's because we were surrounded with good friends and family. So, sila yung nakatulong sa amin na makapag-adjust ng maayos. So, before, we were thinking na, once we go to Canada, siguro, let's lessen na yung paglilibot, pagpunta ng ganitong, kung saan-saan. Pero hindi eh. Siguro, it's because you were surrounded with good people. So, hindi mo, may mga problems, but still, you still manage it because you have someone who will help you, who will guide you dun sa adjustment period ninyo. So, well, before, it's really hard though to think na, I'm moving to a different country. Wherein, at first, I took a rest because I have a career in the Philippines already. When I came here, it's just that, way back in 2016 when I graduated from college, it's been a dream for me to study abroad. But I have to parang i-let go muna yon. Because ang tingin ko nun, bakit ulit ako mag-aaral? Aral na naman ako. Pwede bang mag-work naman para i-build ko lang yung career ko.
Yeah.
And then come to the point na I got married and then parang nakita namin yung chance, why not i-push na natin yung mag-aral ako abroad. It's because I started sa digital agency before, right? So, wala akong kaalam-alam about social media kasi hindi pa naman namin siya pinag-aaralan before sa college. Tapos, nag-transition ako sa e-commerce. So, minary ko na yung social media and e-commerce. And while doing it, and while lumalaki na yung job ko and may mga opportunities na ako to grow, iniisip ko, parang I need to refresh yung knowledge ko dun sa industry. Parang parang feeling ko hindi na ako competitive. So, parang ang daming changes pero hindi ko na alam kung ano yung kaya kong i-contribute pa dun sa industry. So, parang inisip ko, why not mag-aral ulit, diba? Parang ganon. So, that's where we came here in Canada. Sakto, digital media, yun yung talagang hinahanap namin. Kasi marketing is very broad eh. So, digital media and global communications, sakto, global communications, kasi before, sa Philippines, natatakot ako hindi naman sa natakot, weakness ko yung makipagsabayan sa international like marketing team. Kasi di ba ang galing-galing nilang mag-explain ng...
Nagsalita.
Oo, magaling sila magsalita. Numbers, magaling sila. Data analytics, ganyan. Tapos sabi ko, ay, parang kailangan kong i-improve yung sarili ko. Parang, hindi ko kaya. Parang natakot ako. Parang ang galing-galing nila. So, nung dito na, sabi ko, ay, ito na yung opportunity ko. Magte-take ako ng risk kahit we will start from scratch. Kasi here, pagdating mo dito, wala kang career agad eh. Diba? You need to start from scratch. That's where I started building my own brand. So, I put myself as a brand, and then yan na yung pumasok yung content creator. Actually, wala naman akong plan maging content creator. Pero,
Speaking of that, sorry,
Yeah.
sorry to cut you off. Ano pa lang tinitake mong program dito?
it's digital media and global communications.
Okay, gets. So, nung pumunta ka sa Canada, kasi most ng mga people is, kaya mahirap para sa kanila, parang gusto nila pero may other side sa kanila na parang hirap iwanan is yung mag-shift sila ng career from kung ano man sila sa Philippines, let's say sikat ka doon or you're something big, a celebrity or something. Pagdating mo dito, magiging normal na silang tao.
Yeah.
Meron silang ganong klaseng acceptance na nilalabanan within them. So, I guess sa'yo, kung ano yung ginagawa mo doon, yun talaga yung gusto mong gawin dito. Is that correct?
Which is nakatulong sa pag-adjust naming dalawa. Kasi ito yung gusto mo eh. Well, this is my experience, no? Ito yung naging way namin na, kung ito yung matagal ko ng pangarap, why not grab ko na yung opportunity? Well, there's a risk though, kasi iwan ko yung career ko dun sa Philippines, right? So dito, I'm gonna start again, but I'm gonna gain a lot more. So parang may pros and cons lang siya. So at first, nag-aaral ako. I don't have any plans to enter the content creator scene, but the university saw my videos. That's where they asked me. They asked for my portfolio because I started creating contents na that time eh. Well, unpaid kasi parang gusto ko lang gumawa ng videos.
Yeah.
And I asked for my portfolio. That's when they hired me as a social media collaborator, which is aligned din sa ginagawa ko. So,
social media collaborator,
Yes.
meaning what
I
ibig
do
sabihin?
contents for the university.
For the university. Ang galing. Okay. So parang ikaw yung face ng university sa social media nila. Is that right?
Well, I have like videos. Well, not literally face, but yeah, I have like photos, I have videos dun sa university, but I also do the contents, like I edit, and I also like conceptualize kung ano yung magiging contents namin. Like for example, on TikTok, and then I cover events. So, pag may events kami, I need to like film it, and then I need to edit it, and then we need to post it. So, yun. I do contents for our social media. And then I also like collaborate with the students. I ask them to, can we have like a video like this? Kaya whenever I approach them, I saw you, you're in the social media. Tapos yun, hiya na ako na. Kasi mahihain naman talaga ako. Hindi lang halata, pero yeah.
Nakita
Mahihain.
nila famous ka na. Ganun.
But yeah, well, actually yun yung gusto kong i-share sa lahat. Well, my journey is not yung talagang polished na diretso lang na line. Well, there are a lot of like challenges as well. Na first is that I took the risk of moving from this country to another country. I need to learn a lot, culture, language, and everything. I need to start from scratch kasi hindi ko naman alam kung ano yung magiging career ko dito, right? Ang ginawa ko dyan is that I just start with ano ba yung strength ko. My strength is doing content. That's what I love. So ginawa ko yan. That's where the university saw my potential. So I was hired as social media collaborator. I used that experience to build my own brand. So I started creating videos, and that's where brands started seeing my videos. And then right now, I'm also still studying. So I'm trying to manage everything. Well, on top of that, nag-work din ako. So pag-iisipin mo yon, maraming challenges pa rin na pumapasok. Pero you just have to stay positive and you just trust kung ano yung journey, kung saan ka mapupunta. And of course, you have to work hard for it. Hindi lang siya yung agad-agad na, ay, nandun ka na eh. No.
Yeah.
Kailangan mong paghirapan para makapunta ka dun sa point na yon. Which is ngayon ko lang na-realize na ang layo ko na rin pala. Ang layo ko na rin pala sa kakarating lang sa airport. But
Alam mo, isa sa, ang ganda ng pagkakasabi mo, and parang gusto kong pag-usapan yung aspeto na yun. Isa sa mga dahilan, I think nakwento ko sa'yo, siguro before tayo mag-roll, is, isa sa mga goals ko rin talaga dito is, obviously, to share yung buhay ng mga Filipino-Canadians natin, pero, ang isa sa mga gusto kong makwento is, kasi alam naman natin, ang Canada is designed as, work country para sa mga Filipinos, ganyan. And then, nakakabilib kasi na merong mga, kunyari, content creators, athletes, musicians, na very passionate sila sa ginagawa nila, despite being in a country na ganito. And isa sa mga gusto kong malaman, usually talaga sa mga from people, is yung story kung paano nila nagagawa yon despite being here.
Yeah.
Ikaw, kunyari, in your case, student, may work, content creation.
Yeah.
Like, how do you juggle
Everything.
Everything.
Actually, I get that question all the time. Especially from my fellow students, no? And, kasi to be honest, my schedule is really full. Wala akong off. Wala akong day off. So, every weekday, may class ako. So, I also work in school. So, that's every day. And then on a weekend, I also work in a different company. So, pag-iisipin mo siya, nakakapagod. Pero, if you enjoy what you're doing, I think it helps. And especially if you like, right now kasi the community that I have, like for example, sa workplace, masaya. Lahat sila very supportive. So it really helps dun sa na maging magaan yung work. Yeah, even if pagod ka na. And then I think number one is that you have to manage your time. Kasi you have a lot of deadlines, especially sa work sa school, especially sa work sa class, right? Mga assignments, ganyan. So, ang ginagawa ko lang as much as possible, I have like this schedule, o ito yung mga deadline ko. Kailangan ko talagang gawin. Hindi ka kailangan na, nandito ako, mag-work lang ako. No. Kasi nandito ka, may dalawa kang kailangan gawin eh. Kailangan mong mag-aral, kailangan mong mag-work. So you need to balance those two. Hindi pwedeng naiiwan yung pag-aaral, at hindi pwedeng nangingibabaw yung work. You need to balance that. So, ang ginagawa ko is I make sure that everything is in my calendar. So, kailangan pag may deadline, hindi ko dapat yan mamimiss. And then, i-enjoy mo rin yung pag-aaral kasi paminsan, sometimes pagod na tayo sa work, right? So you just need to manage na may time na nakakapagpahinga ka pa rin. Kahit hindi ka lalabas, hindi mo na kailangan gumastos, di ba? Just stay sa bahay nyo, invite mo yung mga friends nyo kasi it helps. Kasi paminsan ako na-burnout ako that time eh. So yung parang, yung break time mo with your friends, it really helps para ma-regain mo ulit yung focus mo, especially in working and studying. So, yun naman, as long as you know how to manage your time, and then you know your priorities, of course, you don't let yung isa yung nangingibabaw, yung isa naiiwan mo na. So, balance lang yung school and then work, and then just enjoy. Yeah, mahirap man mag-enjoy paminsan, pero try to insert that joy dun sa process kasi it really helps eh. Nakaka-stress man paminsan, pero isipin mo lang, matatapos rin yung stress na yan or yung problem na yan. Yeah, wag mo siyang masyadong isipin kasi the more na iniisip mo, mako-consume ka and then mawawala ka dun sa direction na yung sapat na talagang sinusundan mo.
Alam mo, in your case, kailangan din nila malaman, factor in mo pa yung travel mo.
Oh, yeah.
From Niagara
that's true.
to Toronto. For context lang, alam niyo ba ang drive from sa Niagara to Toronto is what, like an hour and a half?
Yeah,
or
an hour.
more?
If drive. If not, by bus, it will take you like 2 hours.
Wait, may instances pa na nagbabas ka lang?
Oh yeah, na-enjoy ko yun. I know. Oh, there's this one time, Wingstop Canada just invited me for their grand opening. Like I think a new branch here in Oshawa Center.
Oshawa. Okay.
So, from Niagara Falls to Oshawa.
Nag-bus ka?
Bus and train.
Layo.
I know. But actually, nung inisip ko, ang layo nga, no? Pero you know what? Nung nasa train and bus ako, hindi ko rin ramdam. I don't know why. Maybe because of my personality that I like going out. But yeah,
Gano'ng katagal yung travel nun?
3 hours one
3
way.
hours one way. Sa bagay, gets ko rin eh. Kasi kung sanay tayo sa Philippines, ganun din naman ang mga travel time sa Philippines.
Oh yeah,
Ano?
but with traffic. This
Pero
one kasi dire-diretso.
iba on a...
But yeah, I don't know. Well, you know what? If there's an opportunity, just grab it. Because when I took that brand collaboration, I received more messages from the brands. They really reach out to me na, oh, can we, would you like to have like brand collaboration with us? Ganyan. So nag-open siya ng door for new opportunities. So I think yun yung pinaka natutunan ko here in Canada. Whatever's, even if it's like a small opportunity or small invitation from a little brand or kahit hindi siya ganong hindi siya ganong kalaking brand, why not try to grab it? Kasi paminsan baka yun yung first sign na kailangan mo lang gawin para mag-open ng more opportunities for you.
Anong ginawa mo sa Wingstop? Anong ginagawa nila sa'yo?
Oh yeah, well, parang may event sila. And then I also checked their new place, which is very nice naman sa Oshawa Center. And then yung food rin, we tried a lot of like different food dun sa branch na yon. So it's fun though. And I got to meet a lot of content creators. Which is, I think, yun yung pinaka-best experience for me, to meet a lot of like content creators. Because I get to learn from them, especially very diverse. Different countries sila, different languages. So it's fun though.
Anong klaseng video ginawa mo? Like, taste testing, ganun?
Yes. Well sa ano ko kasi, sa the way I tell stories, it's hindi siya yung parang on the spot na nagsasalita ako. So right now I was trying to have like voice over. Yeah. Yun, kumakain ako. Ayun, kain na naman. But
Parang
yeah,
ano,
binibidyo ko yung sarili ko habang kumakain. Pero worth it naman.
You look like a very happy and outgoing person eh. Can you share, meron ka ba makikwento sa akin about, do you have a funny story, sa paggawa na-invite ka to this event? Do you have, can you share something na parang memorable na ginawa mo for a brand or contents?
For a brand? Siguro, let's say memorable. That was for a NYX. It's a makeup brand. Here in Canada, NYX siya. NYX yung name ng brand. So I went to this, hindi naman siya, yeah, it's like a party. I forgot kung kailan siya, pero sa downtown Toronto. So, it's an agency, they invited me to come. So, pagpasok ko doon, there's a lineup. So, there were a lot of like content creators. And I'm just so happy because there's this Filipina girl that I saw that she's a content creator as well. And I saw her, oh, she's a content creator. And I know that girl. I know this girl. And then I was like so happy. Kasi ako, syempre, nag-start pa lang ako that time. And then, ang dami kong nakikitang content creator na from Canada, dito rin sa Canada, and then nakita ko sa Instagram ko lang sila na nakikita. Sabi ko, ang saya-saya ko, pwede ko kaya ako magpa-picture, pero nahihiya ako magpa-picture. So, tinignan ko na lang sila. So, I think yun yung pinaka-memorable ko. Parang, alam mo yung humble beginning, na parang ang saya-saya mo lang dun, nakikita mo lang sila. Na they were like doing their thing, they're also like doing vlogs, ganyan. Kasi ako, paminsan shy pa ako mag-video public. Pero sila, sila pro. Sabi ko, ganun pala. So parang, andun lang ako, tinitingnan ko lang sila, ino-observe ko lang sila. So at least parang may learning experience rin ako dun sa time na yun. And then, yun lang, ang saya-saya lang nakakita ng mga content creators na nakikita mo lang sa Instagram.
Sino yung mga yun? I-shoutout natin. Sino sila?
So, Patty and then Princess. Yeah. So, I think there are half Filipino rin. Pero dito na ata lumaki sa Canada.
Hello, shoutout sa inyo.
Yeah.
What's ang isa sa mga, how do you say it? Despite your calendar being full and full of passion, alam ko gusto mo yung ginagawa mo. Meron ka pa bang other hobbies?
Other hobbies? Oh, trying new things. So just recently I went skiing.
How did that?
Ayun, bagsak. Pero masaya. Feeling ko babalik ako. So, ayun. that one is my first skiing. Before kasi parang iniisip ko, ano kayang magandang gawin sa Canada? So ngayon, nung na-try ko na yung skiing, ay ang galing, no? Dati iniisip ko lang na, kaya ko kaya mag-skiing, tapos ngayon nagawa ko na. So masaya siya. And then, nag-try rin ako mag-golf. So parang every season, may pwede kang gawin.
Masaya mag-golf, ah.
Oh yeah.
Nahiligan ko rin mag-golf.
Ay talaga, saan? Dito rin ba sa Marca? O try mo sa Niagara on the Lake.
Ang layo. Pwede, siguro pag naka-visit one
Diba?
time.
Yeah.
Pati snowboard. Ako snowboard is one
no,
thing that I enjoy
snowboard.
doing.
Oh my gosh. Ang hirap ng skiing. Pero enjoy naman bumagsak.
Di ba siya delikado?
Delikado siya kung
Parang-
hindi ka makikinig.
Nakakatakot kasi siya eh.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know.
Dito kami sa Moonstone.
Di ako familiar sa Moonstone,
Oh
sorry.
yeah. Parang 3 hours from Niagara Falls. O, di ba? Nag-drive na.
Layo din, ah.
Yeah. And then, go camping din. Algonquin.
Yeah.
Yan. So yun yung, I think yun yung na-enjoy ko dito sa Canada. Sobrang laki ng Canada na madami kang pwedeng gawin or puntahan. And some of it, may mga free din. So yun yung mga hina-highlight ko rin dun sa university namin, yung mga free places to explore in Niagara Falls. So especially Niagara Falls kasi when I came there, parang mostly ang pinaka-highlight nila is yung falls itself, right? But when I tried to explore the place, ay ang dami palang pwedeng puntahan. Sobrang daming pwedeng gawin, especially mga free din yung iba, hindi mo kailangan magbayad. So, ang saya lang kasi you get to experience those things na hindi mo akalain na, di ba, in the Philippines kasi ang iniisip lang natin, we want to go to Japan, you want to go to yung mga Asian countries, yung mga malalapit. But now you're in Canada, may isip mo, ay, ang layo ko na pala. Di ba? Which is masaya. Yun rin yung parang lagi ko in-encourage sa mga fellow students ko na go out, try to explore. Kasi paminsan hindi lang naman kailangan nag-aaral, laging nag-aaral, laging nagtatrabaho. So try to have some time with friends or with family na to go out. Parang to experience talaga kung ano yung place kung nasan ka man. Yun, kasi it really helps eh.
What's your hanggang kailan mo balak gawin? Tingin mo hanggang kailan mo gagawin whatever you're doing?
Oh, I think as long as I'm happy, yeah, I will do it.
Do you see
Yeah.
yourself doing other things than this? Kapag minsan parang one day, parang feeling mo ayaw mo na ganun.
Oh, I think no. I think this is what I like. So I think ito yung, well, siguro hindi naman sa magiging ayaw ko na. Kasi I actually like growing. So as long as my space for growth, I'm gonna grab that opportunity and just grow. So I'm not gonna, yung parang throw it everything na lang. So I think I'm just gonna find a way na siguro hindi man yung field, for example, content creator scene, like right now, on like food or beauty. Why not try to explore like travel or different niche, different industry? So I think it's the same industry, but I'm just gonna grow. Yeah.
Ito medyo cliche siya. Hindi ko alam kung kaya mo siyang sagutin. What's a perfect content for you?
Oh, I think perfect content is a content that yung alam mo yung masaya ka. Yun yung, I think yun yung pinaka-perfect na content na masasabi ko. That you're happy, you're 100% happy doing that thing. Like for example, with that experience. Yung talagang na-feel mo na, ay, ang saya. Tapos makikita mo kasi sa video if you're faking it or if you're real na masaya ka eh. So I think yun yung pinaka-perfect for me. That you can, that you're genuinely enjoying that thing that you do. Parang ganon. Like for example, I'm in this place na first time kong pumunta. And then, alam mo yung makikita mo na, ay, para kang bata na, ay, ang ganda. Parang ganon. Ang saya. Parang ganon. So, I think yun yung perfect content for me.
That's very authentic as
Yeah,
well, di ba?
That's true.
Kapag nagko-conceptualize ka ba ng contents, do you factor in kung ano ba iisipin ng tao or mako-comment nila or you just really do kung ano yung tingin mong ikaw or what you wanna do?
Well, during my first early stage ng content creator, yes, I always think of others na, ito kaya yung gusto ng ibang tao, ng audience ko, ito kaya yung trendy ngayon, ito na lang gagawin ko. But eventually, as I edit my video, lagi kong iniisip is, ito ba ako? So I always make sure that ito ba yung personality ko? That ito yung gusto kong i-highlight. So slowly, andun na ako sa phase na kung sino ako, yun na yung makikita niyo sa content. Hindi ko na masyadong, well, of course, there are factors that you need to comply. Like for example, ano ba yung kailangan ni brand? Ano ba yung kailangan, ano ba yung hindi dapat gawin? So, syempre, yun yung mga little factors na kailangan kong i-incorporate. But, most of it is dapat, kung sino ako, dapat yun yung makikita mo sa video. Yun.
So, more so, ano siya, kailangan masaya ka muna.
Yeah.
Instead. Parang yun yung mas nauna.
Yes. Kasi before, like, iniisip yung iba eh. And whenever I read a lot of like, parang mga stories online, kasi yun yung una nilang iniisip nun. Kaya parang nawawala yung passion nila, yung drive to create content because they're always thinking about others, right? If you're thinking about more of others, kasi parang nawawala na yung ikaw dun sa content. So parang iniisip mo na lang, ano bang gusto nila? Ano bang kailangan nila? So instead of you na, ay, ito gusto ko to. Ito yung ito ako. So parang yun yung magiging edge mo kasi if you personalize things. So yun yung magiging edge mo dun sa content creator scene. So I think andun na ako sa phase na yun. So medyo graduate na ako dun sa masyado akong takot na lagi kong kino-consider yung ibang tao.
How about meron ka ba experience with parang na-reject talaga yung content na ginagawa mo? And then how did you deal with it?
Yeah. Well, I think siguro sa Philippines, but not like total reject. I just need to revise a lot of things yung sa video. So, well, at first, kasi pag nag-work ako talaga, pag work ko talaga yon is, paminsan, kaya ko pang i-explain. Like, kunyari sa brand, di ba? Kasi I also work in a marketing team. So, pag ako, as a worker, as a employee, I'm just gonna explain, oh, dapat ganito. No, this is fine. We can add this kasi ganyan-ganyan. It will help. Parang i-explain ko. But as a content creator kasi, paminsan, hindi ka pwedeng magsabi, i-explain yung side mo, right? Kasi sila yung taga-approve eh. Tsaka mahaba yung isipin mo rin, hindi lang si agency yan, si brand pa. So, instead na mag-explain ka, i-comply mo na lang. So, ang ginawa ko is that nag-reshoot na lang ako to make sure na pasok pa rin dun sa requirements nila. So, yun lang yung mahirap. So, parang ako, as a marketer person, medyo gumigit na ako. Kung marketer person ako, I'm gonna explain it, that this is the best practices. I think, this is parang ito yung trend ngayon, ganyan. Ipaglalaban mo siya kasi alam mo naman na yun yung right, parang yun yung content dapat na gusto mong i-portray. Well, pag content creator ka, parang kailangan mo mag-comply na lang sa brand or agency kasi yun yung hinahanap nila eh. So para kasing under ka nung nila, parang organization. So parang yun yung gumigit na ako paminsan.
Pero hindi ka nalulungkot ganun. It doesn't bring you down.
Paminsan, malungkot. Kasi ulit na naman. Kasi you know what? Content creator, it's not easy. It's not always fun. Well, before, I thought ang saya parang glamorous life. That they are giving you a lot of like free stuff. They're gonna pay you for the post. But it's not actually about that glamorous life. It takes a lot of like production behind the scene. Mahirap siya. Kasi, for example, ako, isushoot ko yung sarili ko. Before shoot, iisipin mo muna anong gagawin mo. Ano bang sasabihin ko, paano yung flow. Tapos, paano mo i-film, paano mo i-edit, paano mo siya gagawa ng caption. And also, it's like a whole production. So, mahirap siya talagang gawin. So,
yung side ng content creation na hindi nakita ng tao.
Yeah.
Kasi at front, kala nila, glamour, you get free stuff, you get famous, you get views. Pero meron din siyang hard work sa niya, behind that.
A lot of hard work talaga. Though we have like AI ngayon na mabilisan na edit. But when I check kasi, well, I tried that. Well, yan kasi pinag-aaralan ko, di ba? Marami ng AI, pwede mong ilagay doon yung idea mo and then create ka ng video. Which is good kasi mabilis. But when you look at it, parang may kulang. Kasi there's no a touch of parang personalized touch. Which is yun yung ginagawa kasi ng content creator ngayon. Meron yung sila na nasa video na to make it more genuine.
How do you see yourself? Cliche again. Very cliche questions. Pero I always find the most interesting answers from the most cliche questions.
Yeah.
Because I believe that parang bawat tao, kahit cliche yung question, they have their own version of that a story.
That's true.
Diba? So, how do you see yourself 5 years, 10 years?
Wow.
Long shot?
Kasi before, actually, tinanong na rin sa akin yan eh. And I think ang sinagot ko dyan before is that I'm gonna see myself parang in a digital media industry, but very broad. Right? Yun yung answer ko na yun, nasa video. Which is ngayon, nasa digital media industry na ako ngayon. So I think 5 years from now,
So it means another 5 years?
Another 5 years. So, siguro magiging specific na tayo. Yeah. Well, ang iniisip ko kasi is, content creator is not actually yung career path na gusto kong talagang i-focus. No, it's not. Because that's just my passion na gusto kong i-continue. Which is, yes, i-continue ko pa rin after 5 years. But I am looking na mas broad na, as a content creator first, na mas broad na yung audience ko, na hindi na ako yung nagtra-travel ng 3 hours. Siguro may pa jet lag na.
Wow.
But of course, let's be, di ba? Kailangan, kailangan yung dreams mo malaki para mas yung drive mo to get that dream, 'di ba? Mas malaki rin. So I think so though I'm hoping I can do that. So big brands, and then of course like not just big brands, but of course yung mga brands that really values content creators, yun yung mga gusto ko talagang maka-collaborate. And then so mas wider yung kanyan audience 5 years from now here in Canada. And then siguro in terms of career wise, I'd like to be in a company that will, kaya ako nag-study rin ng global communications kasi yan yung weakness ko, di ba, in the Philippines. And now I want to enter that international scene. So hopefully, I could be part of a company that I can, be part dun sa digital marketing team nila. Yeah, kasi yun talaga yung passion ko eh. Not just like content creator, but also in a like digital marketing.
Galing ng pagkakasabi mo about going big and having big dreams.
Yeah.
And anyways, thank you Charlene for sa pagpayag. Alam ko malayo pa yung binyahe ninyo. And I guess before tayo magpaalam, baka meron kang gustong i-promote, i-shout out, pasalamatan, pasabi na.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you again for inviting me. Actually, this is my first podcast and I'm really happy. Actually, nakakaba because there are a lot of like cameras here. But thanks to you, mas naging ang sarap ng usapan. And then I also like to thank all my supporters. Yeah, thank you guys for following me, for supporting all of my contents. Very, very grateful guys to have you in this career. And yeah, yun lang. See you on and also don't forget to follow me on Instagram. My name is Charlene Aquino.
Yun. Again, thank you ulit Charlene for being here. Salamat sa invitation to be here. And again, this is Kyle from Filipino TV. Kasama ko si Charlene and this is a Totoo Lang Podcast. Guys, kita-kits tayo next week.